Why Chinese tourists have targeted one Pacific U.S. territory to give birth to U.S. citizens, and how President Trump's plans could end so-called birth tourism. Welcome to VOA Asia Weekly. I'm Chris Casquejo in Washington. That story is coming up, but first making headlines. More than 20 navies are taking part in Indonesia's 5th multilateral naval exercise, Komodo 2025. The U.S., China, India, and Russia have sent participants to the non-combat naval drills. This year's theme is Maritime Partnership for Peace and Stability, focusing on international cooperation in humanitarian assistance and disaster relief efforts. Philippine defense officials will hold a 10-day military exercise next month to strengthen the country's defense. The move follows accusations that a Chinese naval helicopter flew within 3 meters of a Philippine patrol plane in the disputed South China Sea.
And if you're going to ask me who is the one carrying out such aggressive and illegal actions, that will only be the People's Republic of China.
China said that the Philippine aircraft illegally entered Chinese airspace without permission. The U.S. State Department removed a statement from its official website saying we do not support Taiwan's independence and highlighted Taiwan as an important trade and semiconductor partner. China responded strongly.
We urge the U.S. side to correct its mistakes immediately.
Taiwan's government praised the changes. Qatar's government has committed to investing $10 billion in India following a bilateral meeting between Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two countries aim to double their annual trade to $28 billion over the next 5 years and are exploring a free trade agreement. So-called birth tourism is not only happening on the U.S. mainland. Pregnant Chinese mothers have been heading to a U.S. territory much closer to home to have their babies and obtain for them coveted U.S. citizenship. VOA Mandarins Yu Yao and Ju Dao have the details from Saipan, capital of the Northern Mariana Islands. Elizabeth Lee narrates.
Tourists may come to Saipan, the capital of the Northern Mariana Islands, for its Pacific Island beauty, but not this mother. She's here so her daughter can acquire a piece of paper that says she's a U.S. citizen. The mother has overstayed the 14 days she's allowed to be in this U.S. territory. She only uses her surname, Ye, to protect her identity.
Whether it's the education system or the everyday environment within China, there's too much pressure. Even I want to escape. I don't want to be there.
Ye arrived in Saipan in September, entering under a 14-day visa waiver program for Chinese citizens implemented in 2019. Before that, when birth tourism from China was at its highest, Chinese nationals were allowed to stay without a visa for 45 days. Arnold Palacios is the governor of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands.
It peaked in 2017 and 2018.
With more than 500 babies born to Chinese mothers in each of those years, Palacios says those births surpassed the number born to Saipan women. The number of Chinese births on the island dropped during the pandemic. Since 2009, government records show about 3,300 babies have been born here to Chinese mothers. Ye says she found Saipan on social media while researching places to give birth. Conservatives in the U.S. have argued that birthright citizenship encourages illegal immigration and is being exploited.
We think we have good ground.
On his first day in office, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to end it.
We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous.
While this order is being challenged in court, Ye hopes there will be a good outcome for her daughter and maybe even herself.
I feel once I get here, it's a more humane place. For sure, there will be a way to solve the challenges I'm facing.
Since the end of last year, travelers from China have to apply online for a waiver and be vetted through an electronic pre-screening process before they're allowed to enter. For Yu Yao and Jiu Dao in Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands, Elizabeth Lee, VOA News.
Visit voanews.com for the most up-to-date stories. I'm Chris Casquejo. Finally, Hong Kong's youngest celebrities, 2 twin panda cubs, are making their first public appearance. Fans showed up to the zoo to see the panda cubs, currently called elder sister and younger brother. The zoo is holding a name suggestion competition for Hong Kong residents, running until March 7th. Thanks for watching VOA Asia Weekly.